And I still think Harstem was kind of in that game because he had like 6 bases or something against 4.
Yeah.
And I mean, say if you had like 20 gateways behind that and double robo, or at least double robo, and you were sending like while that fight was going on, you had a warp prism in the main ready because that cooldown for the locust to then deal with the warping in the main and at your 4th, it's just not there. So I still think there are ways to battle around the swarm host and still utilize it pretty well.
It's really that last engagement, like even against Goody, it was similar. Like Goody was like kind of winning, and then all of a sudden the locust swooped in from like every location and killed him.
It's very obvious. Like Harstem asking, is there downtime in the waves? He doesn't realize there's like a 30-second window where there's nothing. Those swarm hosts are literally just supply.
Imagine if there wasn't any downtime, then it would be like when you play Dota, like the WTF mode. You know, that you can just spam the spells over and over again.
That would not be cool. Although battle cruisers would be pretty fun.
Yeah, just like Yamato cannon the entire army.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, really? I feel like they're always there.
Yeah, I agree with him though. Like it kind of feels like they're there a lot of the time. But I guess like if you don't really know the timings and how to exploit them.
Yeah, I think Snute did it on purpose as well. That's why sometimes when he was defending, sometimes he had more issues with it than he should have. Because I guess a couple of his swarmers were on cooldown and the others were not. Because he doesn't like just press them all at once. It's kind of like when you have like 20 void rays and you don't want to like use prismatic alignment on all 20 immediately, because if he then runs away and comes back, you have nothing. You know, you kind of want to use it on like 5 or 6, and then.
But you only activate them manually, right? Like they don't spawn by themselves. Okay.
Yes, you have to do it manually. There's no autocast.
Yeah, then Snute is totally right. If Protoss is good at baiting them, then they will do really well. Like you go in a location, you force locust, you move back, and then you attack somewhere else. You definitely have enough time to pull back, dodge the wave, and then attack within, like, I guess you're gonna have like a 20 seconds window before they pop again.
So before game 3 starts, what do you guys think so far? I definitely think it's way more entertaining, and I still think it's slightly weaker, and I also think it's way more challenging for the Zerg to make this work.
I don't think there is a negative so far, besides them possibly being too weak when they like.
Yeah.
Like I kind of don't like the upgrade.
And that's a positive too.
I mean, it's positive for me, sure, but
I mean, it is positive compared to the old Swarmers in a couple of the games that we have seen, especially all the PVZs on Overgrowth, I guess.
Yeah, I really like it. I mean, they've made the whole game seem a lot better. Like it's way less campy. It's way less like, hey, waiting for you to try and kill me, and then I'm going to kill you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like,
there's ways of abusing it.
A lot of people, I'm trying to keep a close eye on Twitch chat as well, just because I want to see what the people are talking about if they're not posting Kappa faces, which is what they're mostly doing, which is completely okay, of course. But a lot of people are talking about the gas cost, and they think that 200 gas is just a little too much. How do you guys feel about it?
Considering that they're not going to be a unit that you probably mass, they're going to be like hey, I'm going to have a 8 swarm host hit squad or something, or 6 swarm host hit squad. I think that's kind of fine, though. Like I'm kind of still struggling to imagine.
I like that a lot.
Which army they're going to go for?
Because like the builds where you go for 10 Swarmhost into Mutas, it's going to be much weaker now because it requires a lot more gas already. Like you're going to waste your gas literally on Swarmhost to get them at first. So I think it's good. Like minerals, nobody gives a shit about minerals. Everybody has minerals. Like even broke Protosses on 21 probes, like we can get a lot of units out on 1 or 2 bases and do our all-in. So minerals not that important. I really feel like adding a gas cost is good. I don't know if 200 is the number, but
I'm just going to play devil's advocate over here because obviously I am a Protoss, but I just think like the combination of it being 4 supply and 200 gas and them being weaker in a lot of scenarios, I feel that's almost like a triple nerf, and that might be slight overkill. Don't you guys think so?
Wait,
the locusts are still there, and they fly now, man. So let's not talk about it now.
Yeah, I mean, like that is the only advantage you could say. But in a weird way, that the fact that they fly is sometimes working against the Zerg as well.
Yeah,
we've seen that multiple times, especially in very low numbers. Like if you have like 4 to 8 swarmers, like even then, if you get like a surround, they will probably die before they even start shooting. Like I said, I'm just playing devil's advocate. Obviously, I'm a great fan of this horrible swarmers. No, it's not horrible by any means, but I do think it's weaker. And I think, if the unit is in the game, then obviously we should be seeing it as well. And I'm not 100% sure if this is a unit that we will see very often in this matchup, if it all stays like this. Of course, it's a very easy or very early judgment to make, but that's kind of the feeling I'm getting so far.
I agree with you that you definitely should be able to pick whether they begin on the ground or in the air.
And maybe like the animation when they land, that they should start shooting slightly quicker, or have like a landing strike damage. How do you guys feel about that, or do you think it's way too much?
You mean like kind of like charge zealots, how they always get a hit based on when they
exactly.
charge?
Yeah, how zealots.
I think that even though they are more dynamic now, Swarmos, I don't want them to be used in every game or be masked personally. So I don't want them to be too strong, and I want to see like other units out of Zergs.
Does this give you hope, though, Todd, to make a return to StarCraft 2 without Swarm hosts being the way they are?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I'm still like, I don't really like the maps personally, and like Terran, not much is being changed about Terran other than the Raven, which I never really cared about.
Okay. I thought it was mainly Swarm hosts that you disliked.
Yeah, it didn't help, but I've also had trouble with Terran for like a very long time.
I like how Snute can. And look at Snute. He's like. He's throwing mad jukes with his little creep tumor.
Yeah.
You saw that? Like he made one, then he canceled it, then he went to the right, and he went to the left. That's awesome. He's like, I can dance all day. I can dance all day.
I wonder on this map though, like if you can split the map and like not take any damage as Zerg, and then you have like the flying locust able to fly into the natural of Protoss, like it's gonna be so hard for Protoss to defend. I guess you're gonna have to go for like the same thing that harstem did last game, but do a lot of baiting, which I really feel like is the way to play against.
Yeah, I definitely see that. Like, if you would like have your Swarmos at the gold base and then you just pop the locust and you run back, like that is definitely going to be very hard to deal with.
We always have to remember though, let's say he did that with 10 Swarm hosts. That's 40 supply that isn't going to be used in the fight against your army for a good 60 seconds. Like, it's a big time though.
I would probably be okay with losing a Nexus and a few probes if he has 40 supply in his army that can't fight, because I can't really imagine a world where I don't win a fight if my opponent is not using 40 supply of it. Unless Snute pulls, the same trick as he was doing against Goody on Deathwing, where he has like 20 drones for 30 minutes. Like then you can get away with that stuff again, and you're still fighting against the real army. Because he had like 170 plus army supply, but I'm not sure if that's viable against Protoss, because the way that Protoss can harass with war prisms and stuff, as a Zerg, you should really fall apart if you don't have any money to make static defenses.
Snute is playing different, by the way. Instead of going for one single Evo and getting missile attacks, he made 2 Evo and melee attacks plus Carpe. So maybe he's gonna play the Swarmos plus Zergling, heavy Zergling upgraded style to have some counter-attack capability, which on this map doesn't really make much sense, to be honest.
No, but it does make sense in a way that the Swarmos are going to take the majority of your gas, so you should have quite a bit of minerals left, and then maybe rely on Zerglings to deal with drops and be annoying and even deny some bases, and just put all of your gas into Swarmos. Like normally you would play Zergling Muda, you can now play Zergling Swarmos in that way.
I think this also makes sense, given that Swarm hosts now deal way more damage, but Locusts are on the map for so much less time. Getting upgrades for them doesn't mean as much, and just defending your bases with the Zerglings means so much more.
And,
so getting those melee
and the Swarmos is, like, it's weird to say this, but the Swarmos is a fast unit now.
Yeah.
And obviously having other fast units, like Zerglings, they kind of complement each other.
This army on the map for Harstem, though, this is going to be like a pretty useless army, kind of.
Yeah, that is a terrible army against Locust, that's for sure.
Like, I know he's out on the map to deny the 4th constantly, but...
Sentries can't outrun Locusts, right? Flying Locusts.
Yeah. The
I
flying
think
Locust...
they can. If a Tor can outrun it, then I think almost everything outruns a Flying Locust.
The moves...
Hey!
Flying Locusts move at 1.88, yeah? So, and Sentries move at 2.25, so Sentries are going to be faster still.
What happened, Kev?
No, I was like, the Locusts, they're not flying, but then I realized this upgrade wasn't done yet.
I'm still pretty sure that you can press land, like, just on the floor. Yeah. I'm still
Would it be funny if you could, like, land them and then bring them back to the air?
That would be imba. It's like, oh shit, tanks? Okay, back to flying, guys.
And then they would attack air? Kappa?
Okay, Harstem's being pretty cheeky here, though, with this triple starport transition, like...
Yeah, very fast. I remember he actually did that against Snute once upon a time on that... what was that one terrible map, like that 4-player map, where you could only spawn cross, and that was like really big, where there were some islands as well. Remember?
Altazim Stronghold?
No. There was actual islands on the left and right hand side of the map.
Metropolis?
No.
Oh, way station.
Yeah, Harstem actually, at a time where Snute was almost unbeatable with the Swarmhost, he used a build like this. Like he made a few Stalkers, some Immortals. He harassed and then he recalled when he got in trouble. And then he very quickly teched to like a lot of Stargates, Void Race and then Tempest, and he won. But you see he's already going to double Cybercore as well. So he's going to try that.
Okay, we're going to see, by the way, Swarmos pop their Locust near the gold. It's going to be sick.
This is all, and like this is how I planned on seeing them use. Like,
just
a small squad of like 8 or so.
You think this one shots the Nexus?
Hell yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Sure.
If this is not going to kill the Nexus, then I'm going to do something silly.
So this is 9 Swarm Hosts with 0 upgrades on ranged. Okay, that's just now they're all going to pop. They're going to pop. He's kind of
I really like this, by the way, with the Zerglings a lot better. I think this is really going to be... but Snute always kills the workers before he kills the Nexus, at least against Terran.
He's probably not paying attention to them because he was defending.
Okay, but he's going to... Oh my god. Like, this is... All these probes will die and the Nexus will probably die. Like, there's no way this...
Look at that Nexus, guys.
The Void Ray is trying to like go there and defend.
Jesus.
Oh my god, he took everything, actually. In one wave of 9 Swarmhosts.
And look, the Swarm Hosts, because they're so fast, they're back on his side of the map, and he just killed like 20 probes and a Nexus with like.
I mean, in the harassment scenarios, the Swarmos is 100 times better than it was before. It's just in like defending against straight up armies. That's where it's a lot weaker in some scenarios.
They're an assassin unit now. They're like, hey, I'm going to take out like this base. I'm going to pressure you here.
Hey,
Zergling Swarmos actually makes so much sense now. It's like Zergling Muda, but.
Look at all those Void Rays, man. Where is Flux Veins?
Yeah. My game against...
Mers!
Oh, look at this! Look at this! Is he
gonna... if he gets this one too...
Oh my god!
No! Stop!
Oh my god!
Wow. 3 cannons...
To answer your question, the Muslim, I'm definitely not coming back. Todd queues up a Heroes of the Storm game while this game is still going on. He's like, I've seen enough. You guys do the final series. He started carriers by accident, I think.
No, you don't start 3 carriers by accident.
Come on.
How do you start 3 carriers by accident?
You think you're pressing V, but you're pressing C?
No, dude. Carriers are used these days. There's a guy like Terminator and GSL. He was wrecking with them. I feel that Harstem's getting frustrated at this point, though.
He doesn't have the upgrade, though. Does he have the upgrade?
No, I don't think losing everything, man.
I think it's really funny because in game number 1, Harstem was all like, "Lol, these new Swarmos suck. Haha, they seem really bad." And I think by now he's like destroyed 2 of his keyboards and he's plugging in the next one and he's like,
This is how I see Swarm Hosts being used in the future, though. Like, not getting a full group of them and like GG, well played. So, not getting a full like army's worth of them because they are so inefficient supply, but just having enough to deal damage like on the map, not being a defensive unit at all. It's made Zerg way more interesting already.
Interesting.